The world will never be gentle with you. And once you accept this truth, half of your suffering disappears. Life does not pause when you feel overwhelmed. It does not lower its voice when you're mentally tired. And it does not care how sensitive your heart is. People will criticize you without knowing your struggle, judge you without understanding your intentions, and doubt you even when you're doing your absolute best. If you allow every word, every opinion, every reaction from the outside world to enter your mind, you will slowly lose control over your inner peace. Stoicism teaches that true strength begins the moment you stop allowing external chaos to disturb your internal order. You are not responsible for what people say, how they behave, or what situations arise in your life, but you're fully responsible for how deeply these things affect you. The moment you realize that nothing outside of you has the right to control your emotions, you reclaim your power. Not power over others, not power over circumstances, but power over yourself. And self-mastery is the highest form of power a human being can ever achieve. The world will never be gentle with you, and once you accept this truth, half of your suffering disappears. Life does not pause when you feel overwhelmed. It does not lower its voice when you are mentally tired, and it does not care how sensitive your heart is. People will criticize you without knowing your struggle, judge you without understanding your intentions, and doubt you even when you're doing your absolute best. If you allow every word, every opinion, every reaction from the outside world to enter your mind, you will slowly lose control over your inner peace. Stoicism teaches that true strength begins the moment you stop allowing external chaos to disturb your internal order. You are not responsible for what people say, how they behave, or what situations arise in your life, but you're fully responsible for how deeply these things affect you. The moment you realize that nothing outside of you has the right to control your emotions, you reclaim your power. Not power over others, not power over circumstances, but power over yourself. And self-mastery is the highest form of power a human being can ever achieve. Nothing in this world hurts you directly. Pain does not enter your life through events, people, or situations. It enters through your mind. The Stoics understood that reality itself is neutral. It carries no emotion, no judgment, no intention to harm. It is your interpretation that creates suffering. Two people can face the same loss, the same insult, the same failure, and react completely differently. One breaks, the other grows stronger. The difference is not circumstances. It is perception. Most human suffering exists only in the mind, created by overthinking, fear, regret, and imagination. You replay old pain, you predict future disasters, and you exhaust yourself fighting scenarios that do not even exist yet. Stoicism teaches you to bring your mind back to the present moment, where reality is usually manageable and often peaceful. When you control your thoughts, you control your emotions. And when you control your emotions, nothing outside of you has the power to destroy you. The strongest mind is not the one that feels nothing, but the one that feels without being ruled by feelings. One of the most powerful Stoic principles is learning to detach from outcomes while remaining fully committed to action. Most people suffer not because they do nothing, but because they are emotionally addicted to results. They work, but they fear failure. They try, but they are desperate for validation. They give effort, but they demand guarantees. Stoicism teaches a different path. Do what must be done with discipline, sincerity, and focus. Then release your emotional grip on the result. When you attach your peace to outcomes, you place your happiness in the hands of chance. Success makes you anxious to maintain it, and failure makes you question your worth. But when your identity is tied to effort and character instead of results, you become stable. Win or lose, you remain grounded. Praise or criticism, you remain centered. This detachment does not make you careless. It makes you fearless. You stop overthinking and start executing. And when you act without fear of outcomes, your performance naturally improves. Most people live trapped inside invisible cages made of other people's opinions. They wake up thinking about what others will say. They act carefully to avoid judgment. And they hesitate because they fear disapproval. Stoicism breaks this cage. It reminds you that opinions are not facts. They are reflections of other people's experiences, insecurities, and limitations. When someone criticizes you, they are not revealing your truth. They are revealing their perspective, and perspectives change. Today they admire you. Tomorrow they ignore you. Building your self-worth on something so unstable is emotional suicide. A Stoic does not seek validation from the crowd. He seeks alignment with his own values. When you stop explaining yourself, stop defending your choices, and stop chasing approval, you feel an immediate sense of freedom. Let them misunderstand you. Let them doubt you. Let them talk. Their words have no weight unless you give it to them. The moment you stop caring about being liked, you start becoming respected. Most people run from pain, but Stoicism teaches you to walk straight into it with awareness. Pain is not sent to destroy you. It is sent to strengthen you. Every hardship, every rejection, every failure is shaping your mind, even when you don't realize it. Comfort makes people fragile. Struggle makes them resilient. A Stoic does not ask, "Why is this happening to me?" Because that question keeps you stuck in victimhood. Instead, he asks, "What is this teaching me?" Pain exposes weakness, but it also creates strength. The more calmly you face discomfort, the more control you gain over yourself. And self-control is freedom. A person who can endure pain without losing direction, without losing discipline, without losing self-respect becomes extremely dangerous to obstacles. Life can apply pressure, but it cannot break a mind that has learned to endure. Without discipline, emotions become your master. You speak when you should be silent. You react when you should observe. You choose comfort when you should choose growth. Stoicism demands discipline not to restrict your life, but to protect it. Discipline is what allows you to pause when anger rises, to stay focused when motivation disappears, and to remain grounded when chaos enters your life. A disciplined mind does not rush into decisions driven by emotion. It evaluates, chooses, and then acts with precision. This control becomes emotional armor. When others panic, you remain steady. When others complain, you adapt. When others collapse under pressure, you stand firm. Discipline turns calmness into a habit and self-control into a reflex. Over time, this inner strength becomes visible without words. People sense it. Situations respect it. And slowly, you become someone who cannot be easily shaken. Fear exists because you cling. You cling to people, to success, to comfort, to identity. Stoicism teaches that everything in life is temporary, and resisting this truth is what creates suffering. Relationships change. Status fades. Emotions rise and fall. When you accept impermanence, you stop living in fear of loss. This does not make you careless. It makes you free. You enjoy what you have without being controlled by the fear of losing it. Stoics practice preparing the mind for loss before it arrived, so that when it did, it would not destroy them. The moment you truly accept that nothing is guaranteed, you stop being anxious. Fear has no ground to stand on when acceptance is complete. A person who has accepted loss before it happens is nearly impossible to intimidate or manipulate in a world that constantly tries to provoke you. Inner peace becomes a rare and powerful advantage. Anyone can react emotionally. Anyone can raise their voice, show anger, or lose control. Very few can remain calm while being tested, ignored, insulted, or misunderstood. Stoicism teaches that calmness is not weakness. It is control. When nothing affects you internally, you move through life with clarity. Your decisions become sharper because they are not clouded by emotion. Your presence becomes heavy because you are not seeking approval or attention. People feel it when someone is not desperate, not reactive, not emotionally unstable. Inner peace changes the way you walk, the way you speak, and the way you handle pressure. You don't need to announce your strength. Calmness announces it for you. And once you reach this level of control, chaos around you loses its power. When you reach a point where nothing outside of you can disturb your inner state, you become truly free. Life will still test you. People will still behave unpredictably. Loss, delay, criticism, and uncertainty will still exist, but they will no longer control you. Stoicism is not about becoming emotionless. It is about becoming unbreakable. You feel emotions, but you do not drown in them. You observe situations, but you do not absorb their chaos. You respond with awareness instead of reacting with impulse. At this level, you stop wasting energy on drama, revenge, and explanation. Your focus turns inward toward growth, discipline, and purpose. When nothing affects you emotionally, nothing controls you mentally. This is the highest form of self-mastery. This is the mindset of warriors, leaders, and individuals who cannot be shaken by the noise of the world. This is how you become untouchable, not by changing the world, but by mastering yourself.